All right. All right. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Cheap Seats and Cheesesteaks. I am Jay Sensi and I'm joined by,
Tyler Calvey.
and we are just two psychopath Philadelphia Eagles fans and um, here to talk nonsense. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about doing something like this for a while, and I figured basically this would be just our post-game, pre-game nonsense that we sit on the phone and talk about, and probably cheaper than therapy.
Yeah, 100%. So, what do we want to kick off with, Ty? How do we want to introduce the audience to the debauchery of cheap seats and cheesesteaks?
Well, I think first off, with us being the team right now and world champions,
Go
go
birds.
Birds. There's probably a lot of bandwagon or fans coming along. So I figured we'd like to talk about, our history with the Birds and how long we've been with them and the origin stories of kind of how we became Eagles fans. I don't know how you became. How did you become an Eagles fan?
Yeah, how I became an Eagles fan is kind of by accident. So I must have been maybe 9, maybe 10 years old, and I saw football on TV. Didn't really know much about the teams, but my dad brought me to our high school football game. We were the Riverside Vikings, but oddly enough, we had wings on our
Yeah,
helmets.
yeah.
Um, and at 9 or 10, I thought I was watching the Eagles play. I saw the wings on the helmet. I saw the guys hitting each other in pads, and I said, "This is pretty cool." So then when I started to see the actual Eagles in green on TV, I thought those were the guys that I was watching in real life. And so I kind of backdoored my way into being an Eagles fan, and through a lot of pain and suffering, still here. Go
Right on.
birds.
Go Birds. That's funny you say that because because I came from Scranton, when I moved to Riverside and I saw the helmets, I was like, fuck yeah, because I was already an Eagles fan at that
Okay,
point.
okay, yeah, yeah.
So, how I became an Eagles fan is kind of crazy, and by chance, I was probably almost a Minnesota Vikings fan
Mm.
because I didn't know much about football, but my favorite football player at the time was Herschel Walker,
Ah,
and it was leading into 1992. My brother's a Cowboys fan and a
yep.
Niners fan, got all this cool school shit. And I was like, well, why don't I get cool school shit? They got all Cowboys and Niners stuff. And they were like, you don't even have a favorite football team. And I was like, well, who's Herschel Walker play for?
Mm.
And I believe somebody said, oh, he got traded. My brother RJ, Cowboys fan, oh, he got traded to the Vikings a couple years ago through that, historical trade. And then my brother Brandon, this is pre-internet, and thank God he was a nerd because he was like, well, actually, he just got traded to the Eagles. So I was like,
Ah,
cool, I'm an Eagles fan. And
man.
from that
Thank you,
point on,
Herschel.
yeah, Herschel Walker.
Could you
That's why I
imagine what your life would have been like though as a Vikings fan?
probably similar to the Eagles.
I mean, we had some tough
Up
years,
until
but
2017, pretty similar. But yeah,
ooh,
thank God. Oh
yeah,
man, yeah. And the
Vikings
fact
fan.
that they're local and we get to
Yeah.
drive right down the road and see them, every year. So that's a blessing. But yeah, I couldn't imagine not being an Eagles fan. I love the just the vibe of the
Mm.
Philadelphia sports scene. Even though I'm not a Phillies fan per se, I'm not a Flyers fan, but I just love the Eagles as far as they were always like gritty, underdog,
Yeah.
tough,
Yep.
and then you tie in the whole Rocky angle with it. It's just there's no better sports team in all of sports. I don't think from the Eagles.
I mean, it's hard to argue. I think we're a little biased, but
Yeah,
definitely hard, not something easily arguable.
yeah.
What's your favorite? What was your first game you ever
My
went to?
my first game was at the vet. My dad took
Mm.
me. It was a Cardinals game. I don't even remember who was. I think maybe Bobby Hoying was the quarterback. It was
Ooh,
bad. Yeah, my
okay.
dad got free tickets from a work friend. They had like season tickets. This is before the successes, before the Andy Reid.
Yep.
My dad actually wore a blue jacket. He's a Cowboys fan. No
Mm.
Cowboys, nothing on it, but he was still getting shit talked to him, and I didn't
for the
understand
color?
why. Yeah, so I didn't understand why, but I get it now, for sure.
Man, yeah, my first game was at the vet too. My dad brought me. This had to be, when did the vet close? 2000?
2002,
Okay,
because Tiki
with
Barber
the
closed.
Bucks.
Yeah,
Yep.
Tiki Barber closed it down.
So this had to be maybe
Or Rondé
2000, maybe 2001. I was dying to go to a game. My dad brought me to a game. We were playing the Redskins. We sat up in the 700 level with the psychopaths. And I remember looking over to my left. We were kind of in the back end of the end zone. And I remember looking over to my left at a section and seeing one Redskins fan just getting absolutely fucking pummeled with beer, with popcorn, with food. These guys were hitting them from a 360-degree angle from every direction. And the guy didn't leave. But towards the fourth quarter, we lost that game, by the way. I've actually never in person seen the Eagles beat the Redskins. We lost that game, but towards the end of the game, they threw that guy down the steps in the 700 level. And that's when I remember wondering if this was going to be every single opportunity that I went to a game, as somebody was going to near die. But I loved it. I loved every second of it. And you know what? I don't know. 15-year-old me might have helped throw that guy down the steps if I was in that section.
And mentioning the vet, the seats we're sitting on right now are relics of the old Veteran Memorial Stadium in Philadelphia. A great find by you. And I'm glad we got to put them to use. They were collecting dust, doing nothing. And we said, let's do a podcast and let's do it from the seats.
Yeah, you know what? I bought these things maybe 10 years ago from a guy on eBay. And my wife's been trying to get me to get rid of them for quite a while. And we had to move them around quite a few times, but they are back home where they belong and put to good use. And they probably were cheap seats. These probably came from the upper deck. And I think it's just fitting that we're sitting in seats that have such a history in the Coliseum of the Vet.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So, great memories. We've been to many games, many kegs, many cheesesteaks had. But this past year, probably one of the best seasons for fandom. Actually, I'd say in the last 2 years, me and you were pretty lucky. We used to go to games, and every game we went to was a loss. I think that Browns game. It was like a Monday nighter. Did we lose that one?
No, I think we won that game.
Okay, but for a long time,
we had a bad streak.
Yeah, we had a bad streak. We lost to the Broncos with Dawkins. Tom Brady tore us apart. So we were on a not so great streak of watching the Eagles win. Last year we went to the first Kelly Green game, which was amazing.
Oh.
Best uniforms in football. Beat the Dolphins. Went to that Dallas game at home. Sweated it out.
That was an asshole clincher.
Yeah,
Man.
Zork, his sister came with us. Great time. And then comes this year, which we ended up going to the Kelly Green game versus the Jaguars. We got to see Saquon jump over another human being live, which is amazing. I'm glad we decided to go to that game.
But what's crazy, though, is everybody talks about the Saquon jump, but that Devontae catch in the end zone.
The throw and the catch.
Unbelievable.
Third and 22, game on the line. Jalen Hurts, as overrated as he is, from some of the pundits would say, a beautiful throw. John Dotson with an amazing catch, too. That would have probably been a play of the week if that Saquon play didn't happen. Nakobe Dean with an interception to seal the game. That was a great game. That was one of the best games I saw until after we went to the divisional round in the snow. Took my son to his first game ever. And to me, that was the greatest game I've ever seen live. Hands down. Just how close it was, the weather, Saquon's just taking it to the house. I mean, I'll never forget that play for the rest of my life. If I'm laying on my deathbed, that will be one of the things playing in my head as Saquon's running through the snow, slapping his helmet, and me looking over at you and my son, and we're going nuts. It was amazing.
it's almost like time stood still, didn't it? Did it feel like an eternity, that run?
Yeah.
It almost like there was so much noise in the link that there was almost a calmness and a quiet as he was just going through the snow, slapping himself.
Yeah. I don't remember the crowd till I watched the playback.
Correct.
Of how crazy and loud it was, because I was just like, yeah, you said my heart was stopped. But I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. One of the greatest plays ever in Eagles history. And with the talk of them getting a new stadium and possibly a dome, that game might go down in history as one of the greatest memories in, the Lynx history, I would say.
100%. And that was a last-minute decision, right, to go to that game. We weren't going to go until we found out that there was a chance of a snow game. I had never been to a snow game before. I remember watching the Lions game on TV with Shady and how awesome that looked. And so, when the weather forecast came out and it was, we might get, Philly might get 5-6 inches of snow. I remember calling you up and be like, dude, let's go to the divisional game. Let's go to the snow game.
For sure.
Ride home was a little hairy.
Yeah.
But worth it.
Oh,
100% worth it.
100% worth it. One of the best games I've ever seen. And then the fact that it was typical what we've been through, like just as tight as can be, your asshole's puckered up, you're praying. I remember pulling out many prayers in that, just being like, this is not how it ends. This team is too good. It can't end like this. No. Like when Puka Nacua caught that ball on the sidelines, I'm just like, this can't be it. This is not how this story ends. Saquon did not come here for this. He did not just run that ball for this.
No.
And lo and behold, Jalen Carter saves us and on to, the NFC Championship, in which we dominated, put up 55 points on the Commanders, who are our biggest rivalry, I would say, at this point.
Yep.
We shall see. And then leads us to the Super Bowl.
You remember when I called you?
Yeah. I thought you were fucking with me. When you said we're going to the Super Bowl, I was kind of like, well, we were supposed to go to the NFC Championship, and you got sick.
Yes. Yeah, I was fucking awful. I woke up that morning and just, it wasn't going to be a day for a game, unfortunately.
At first, we were going to blame Zork if we lost. Then I was going to blame you if we lost.
You know what? In hindsight, though, I've seen the Eagles play the Redskins / Commanders probably 8 times in person, and I'm 0-8.
Okay.
It's probably for the best.
May have been for the best,
to that game.
But so we win the NFC Championship, onto the Super Bowl, and you call me up and you say, hey, let's go to the Super Bowl. And at first I thought you were fucking with me. And but no, we ended up in New Orleans to watch that game. Now, why I say the divisional round was the best game I ever saw, the Super Bowl was amazing.
Yeah, of course.
But it was over at halftime, so it was a little bit, out of the normal.
Half a game.
Yeah,
it was 40-6.
Yeah, 40-6. Out of the games we've watched versus the Jaguars versus all the games we've been to, we've never had a game where we were pretty much cruising after the first half.
Right, and with that kind of stakes on the line, right?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. When Devontae Smith hit the dagger, we looked at each other and we were like, no, but
they can't come
but
back.
They can't, right? Like, yeah. Not with that defense.
No, it wasn't happening. I mean, they had him running for his life. It was just a beautiful thing to watch, and I'm just so thankful that a flag didn't get thrown when he slapped Mahomes in the mouth, because that just
the strip sack, Milt Williams, Jalen Carter, double hand push. Patrick Mahomes gets flagged if you breathe on him, and I couldn't believe that the NFL allowed that to happen, but I'm glad they did.
Ooh, it makes for a great GIF.
Yeah,
right? On repeat. But no, that was the New Orleans trip was a last minute deal too, and I think we luck out when we do things last minute.
For sure.
We picked the cheap seats. We no cheesesteaks in New Orleans, but a couple
great food though.
Po' boys.
Yeah, great food.
Yeah, a lot of good oysters.
Great food, great gas station breakfast beers. We had many breakfast beers there.
Yes.
We had a little gas station next to our what was the place called?
Shout out to the Contemporary Inn.
Contemporary Inn with their blow up assortments of they had blow up lawn ornaments. In which, what was it? Valentine's
It was
Day.
Valentine's Day. Yeah, a lot of hearts. I mean, that was the one downside of making it a last minute trip, is that there were no hotels left anywhere near New Orleans. We had to stay up by the airport.
Yeah. Sketchy.
Contemporary, and I don't know if it has any stars. I don't know if it would get any stars. Any stars. They make up for it with the collection of inflatables, though.
Yeah. Big fan.
We'll have to flash some of those photos.
Yeah, we'll have to throw those. Yeah. But that was great. It was such a great year for a great team, a great city. I couldn't have drew it up any better.
It's bittersweet, though, because could it, where do you go from here?
No,
right?
I agree.
How do you top that year? I mean, with so much on the line, with Saquon coming in, the way that we won games, the 2,000 yards of rushing, the most rushing yards in a season, including playoffs in history, to top it off with winning, going undefeated in the playoffs, the way that the NFC Championship game fell into our laps to come into Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how you top it. I mean, I hope you top it.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to beat. That was a season for the ages.
Well, and I mean, we go after week 5, we go on the bye week and we rattle off, 17, 18 or whatever it was in a row.
Yep.
Week 4, after that Bucks game, I mean, they were saying Jalen's washed, he needs to go. Sirianni's possibly getting fired midseason. I mean, I remember a lot of the talk, and for us to turn it around and to dominate in the fashion we did. And it was great too, because it was very Philly how it was this year.
Oh yeah.
It was run the ball and play defense. And not only did we beat teams, we beat teams up.
Yep.
And that's what I love the most. I loved hard-nosed defense and, run the ball. I mean, me, for the last forever, I run the fucking ball.
That's probably the most common set of words that you have texted or messaged me in Instagram probably since we've been friends.
Yeah.
Is run the ball.
Run the ball.
Finally, they listen.
Thank God. I sent enough emails and calls to Sirianni's voicemail, whatever number I could get a hold of. But yeah, run the ball. I'm just a firm believer in you don't have to run the ball effectively, but you have to commit to the run. And you see the teams throughout history who have done that, they have a ton more success. It's very difficult to spread the defenses out, especially how athletic everybody is right now. And I feel the number one skill in the NFL that is lacking is tackling. They don't practice it.
Right.
Everybody can catch, everybody can cover, everybody can do all those things. But I feel like tackling and then willingness to tackle. Some guys just don't want to get dirty. They're great athletes now, but they're not nasty. And we proved that this year when you have a big nasty line and you just pound people down and you just see how and then you see by the fourth quarter they don't want to make that tackle anymore. Right. They go for an arm tackle, and then if you do that with Saquon, it's a wrap.
No, that's it.
I mean, even in 22 when we went to the Super Bowl, I felt there was a large deal to do with our success in the run game. We ran the ball a ton. We had Miles Sanders.
Yep.
Jalen was more of a factor in the run game that year. And he played good defense, and we have that. And that's the only thing. And that's also something that you take on the road. You can take in hostile crowds. You can take in bad weather, things like that.
It tempers the game.
Mm-hmm.
Settles the offense down for sure if you can run the ball effectively.
Absolutely. I think, like you said, it's hard to top what we did, but to run it back would be something special. And we have that potential.
I mean, we're equipped.
Yeah.
Right? We lost some key pieces.
Yeah. Defensively, we lost some pieces. But in Vic, we trust.
Dunmore
Vic. So I trust that he's going to get this defense right in pretty good. I think we did a pretty good job in the draft. That Jahad Campbell looks like a stud thus far in training camp. Yep. I mean, we don't really have the pads on. We're not really live yet. But as of right now, we're on the eve of the first preseason game will be tomorrow. And we're going to learn a lot about what we got, because I don't think we're not going to start any of our offensive starters, even though the Bengals said they're going to roll out Joe Burrow and everybody for a couple series. I think Vic wants to let some of the young guys play on defense, and we're gonna find out.
It's going to be interesting. I think the biggest question mark is, who do you think wins the safety battle? I mean, we've got Reed, right? He's locked.
Yeah,
but
Reed's locked.
Sidney Brown.
Yes.
Between Makuba.
Yep. They're talking about Cooper DeJean playing there.
Safety. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the safety position, I think Sidney Brown will probably get the most looks at that until Makuba gets up to speed. I think he had a shoulder injury in this training camp that kind of, sidelined him a little bit. So I think Sidney Brown will be probably the starter week 1. But my biggest thing is the cornerback 2.
Yeah.
Opposite Quinyon Mitchell. That's going to be an interesting. Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo.
Yep.
And then we just traded yesterday, or 2 days ago.
From the Raiders.
Yeah, Bennett.
What's his name?
Bennett.
Bennett. Okay.
And we traded Booker for him.
Yep.
The D tackle position is in good hands.
Yep.
Moro Jomo, I think, is going to be a stud. Jordan Davis looks lean and mean. And then Jalen Carter, probably the best interior lineman in all of football.
100%.
So, but that's something that if you can get a good pass rush and you can control the line of scrimmage, your defensive backs look a lot better. A la 2017, Jalen Mills looked like a first-round talent getting in the 7th round.
Yep.
We lose some of those pieces up front, and he got exposed a little bit. I think he's still playing in New England. Hats off to the Green Goblin. Big fan. But we thought he was a lot better than he was because of, when you get after the quarterback, you can kind of hurry up the clock a little bit and make up for a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, the good thing is we've got youth, right? And especially on defense. And Vic, Fangio just can mold people into doing whatever he wants them to do. I mean, look what he did with Cooper DeJean. Look what he did with Quinyon, right? 2 rookies that were studs. I mean, when's the last time that happened? 2 defensive backs that come in and have that kind of impact as rookies. I mean, if he can do half of that with some of the new guys, especially with Campbell, right? I mean, I think we can be just as powerful on defense this year as we've been, in recent history.
Yeah. I mean, Zach Bond, Bond, a special teamer, turned into probably the best inside linebacker in football last year. So, yeah, I think defensively, scheme makes up for a lot. Offensively, you need talent. And we got a ton of talent on offense. We got a ton of talent on offense.
A little worried about the A.J. Brown hamstring, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not saying much about it, but he hasn't been practicing.
No. But this year, compared to other years, I think the wide receiver room's a little deeper. I think Jahan Dotson is going to play a bigger role. As the year went on, he seemed to be more and more comfortable with the offense.
Yeah.
A couple other guys, maybe Johnny Wilson can get some good. Anais Smith is healthy. They said he could, be helping out with the kick and punt returns. So we're going to see. And Cook, too, I don't know. They said they're high on him.
Okay.
So we have some pieces, and Dallas Goedert back for one more run. Offensively, as long as we stay healthy, we're gonna score some points. But I think defensively, that's gonna be the big thing. If we can kind of be comparable to what we were last year, I think we're gonna be a very dangerous team. And then the fact that we can run the ball the way we do gives us a chance.
Running a fullback this year too.
Yeah.
You see that?
Van Zumeren.
Tush Push is going to be nasty.
And it's back.
It's back.
For one more year.
At least one more year. One more year. They're going to try every year.
Yeah.
They could try every year.
Yeah. They almost got it this year. Couple teams were on the fence about it. But, yeah, if we run it back and we push our way to another, Super Bowl or deep run in the playoffs, I think a lot of teams are going to want to get out of that.
I mean, hats off to the teams that voted to not ban it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's a play. Stop it. I mean, if your team voted to ban it, bunch of bitches.
Bitches. Packers.
Yeah, well, the NFL needed a scapegoat. The NFL wanted to ban it. They needed somebody to be the scapegoat.
Cowboys were too the usual suspect. We wouldn't have been.
Yeah,
they didn't want it. No. Of course, they don't want it.
Yeah, of course.
And speaking of that, how about them Cowboys?
Hi, Micah.
Hi, Micah. Go to Carolina.
They're saying he might not play.
No,
in the opener.
I love it. It couldn't happen to a better organization. And but that goes back to the Eagles and how much you got to love Howie Roseman, who just he sees the writing on the wall and he pays these guys early.
Yep.
And when he pays them, everybody says, "Oh, you overpaid," and then 2 months go by and then someone gets paid twice as much.
Right.
So he
times it.
He times it. Great timing with all these things. I mean, paying A.J. Brown, paying Devontae Smith, paying Jalen Hurts when he did. You know, he was the highest paid guaranteed money at the time. And then, you know, things start to unravel. And then now Dak's getting $60 million a year to play half a season. So it's a beautiful thing. But, yeah, I don't know how they're going to the Cowboys are going to fix this Micah Parsons thing unless they throw ungodly amount of money at him, which would be awesome because I don't think he's as good as people love the sack numbers. He's a great pass rusher, but I don't think there was some talks in Philly media, of course, oh, would you give up this? Would you give up that? Right. Nolan Smith was on the table. I don't think Nolan Smith for a Micah Parsons plus a bunch of draft picks would be a good move for us. I think he's younger, he plays the run better, and he's cheaper. And with all those things, you got to hold on to Nolan Smith. And that play versus the Packers was just an epitome of what he is when, he took on that pulling guard and separated his shoulder. It changed the whole complexion of that game. They were shuffling their guards the whole game after that. And I've never seen Michael Parsons do anything like that. A freak of nature, but he don't want that smoke where Nolan Smith is just like, bring it.
Yeah, he comes and gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Micah seems to take some plays off, though.
Sure.
He chills later in the game, especially. High motor guy, though.
High motor guy. Shout out to the high motor guys. Brandon Graham.
Biggest almost bust turned hero as far back as I can remember.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I'm so happy that he got to even play in that Super Bowl. That was amazing. But yeah, almost a bust, especially after all the players that were taken after Brandon Graham, you were kind of like,
yeah,
he wasn't that big. He wasn't that fast. He wasn't that impactful. And then,
I remember watching that draft. I really wanted Earl Thomas.
Big time.
Everybody wanted Earl Thomas.
Big time. Yeah.
I mean, in hindsight, it paid off. Do we want to tell the story of how you turned his career around?
I feel like I did, right? I called him out on Twitter, and he responded very well. And since then, I've posted some stuff with him in it, and he's liked it and responded. But even in his tweet, he just said, just get your popcorn ready and stay tuned because I'm going to turn this thing around. And lo and behold, he's the hero of the Super Bowl versus the Patriots with the strip sack, and the emotional leader from there on out.
I think it was that meet and greet at the airport.
Yeah, and then we met. Yeah, and then we met him at the airport. I was surprised how short he was. Yeah,
I mean, he's not short to me.
Yeah,
maybe to you.
But you think a starting defensive end, Michigan, Michigan, Division I first round draft pick. You're just like, this guy got to be a monster, and he was just a normal guy.
Just a regular sized guy.
Yeah. And speaking about that, the 21st, he's at Dorney Park. We're going to try and get out there and see him.
Oh, yeah.
Zork's in town.
Is
he?
Yeah,
he said he wanted to go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. So there we go.
Not bad for a first episode.
No. It's good. It's nice to vent too. And
nobody else wants to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it
the
to
wife
each other.
don't want to hear it.
Listen, we're going to say the same shit to each other no matter what.
Right.
We might as well record it.
Absolutely.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
See you guys next time.